I remember one particular client, her name was Jasmine. We found out later was born to teenage parents who had little or no family support. So she ended up in and out of foster care throughout her life. And she could remember coming to Crisis Assistance Ministry when she was 12 years old with one of her many foster mothers. And she remembers clearly sitting in our lobby and promising herself that she was always going to have enough money, that she was never going to have to ask a stranger for help. She grew up and she got a good job and she met a man and fell in love with him, and they had 2 children and life was great. Then the company that she worked for had hard times, laid people off, and she was one of the people laid off. Savings ran out, unemployment ran out, and one day Duke Energy came and cut off her electricity. So there she was sitting in our lobby needing to ask for help. And she sat there and she was remembering herself at 12. And she was thinking about her girls who were at school and had no idea that their house was dark. And she remembered how scary it was when she was 12 and came home and the lights were off. And she did not want that for her girls. So she was sitting in our lobby, getting more and more panicked. And so finally, when her name was called and she went into the interview room with Caseworker, she just exploded. All the stress she'd been feeling all day, all those memories, herself promising herself she would never be in this situation, it just all came out. So the caseworker was able to say, you know, I can see you're a really good mother. And I know that what you want more than anything is to have those lights on when your girls come home from school. It was 1 o'clock. She had just enough time to get home before the girls got home from school, but she was still worried they were going to come in and the lights would be off. So she and the caseworker role-played what she could do with the girls, and she finally came up with a plan that if the girls came home and the lights weren't back on yet, they were going to pretend they were camping. They were going to set up a tent in the living room and they were going to make it fun because the lights would be back on sometime that day. Fortunately for Jasmine, she was with a caseworker who knew how to connect with her and see beyond the immediate emergency, which is the lights are off, to the hurting little girl inside of her.
A lot of families that I've worked with, they don't have any hope. They don't think that they're able to change. Unfortunately, a lot of the families come into, or clients come in to my office in despair. They've been hurt, they've been disappointed. They think that what I'm saying just sounds good. I don't think that they really understand the buy-in that we have and that the commitment that we have. I've had people to come into my office, okay, whatever you say, it's not gonna work. You're not gonna be committed. Yeah, my situation, you don't even have a clue. I've had a hard life. Nobody's ever been there. Yeah, let me see what you're gonna say. Yeah, I'm making minimum wage. Yeah, I'm on fixed income. There's no way you can even help me. Those hard cases, when you look outside of the housing advocacy and the money management, which is, our main goal is to help, to prevent that homelessness, to get you stable, first of all, to keep you housed. They come in with a seemingly, to them, impossible situation financially because, again, it may be $733 a month. It may be I'm getting my Social Security or my pension, and it may be still only maybe $1,200, $1,300 a month. And so to come in and speak with me about budgeting and savings, it just seems impossible. But in the end, when they look back after 90 days and say, you know what, it could be simply saving $50 over the course of 90 days to a person that's never saved, that is the biggest reward on a fixed income. And just seeing from day one, it could be up to day 89 before we hit that 90th day mark. Because on the 90th day, I have a conversation where we do reflecting back. We look back and say, you remember that first day that we came in and we talked? Because I documented everything they said, especially that first conversation. And when I'm able to walk that path with them and talk about, look, now your confidence level is out the roof. Standing up now, your shoulders are broad now versus being sunken in when you first came into the office. Now look, I can do this, and they can. It's just a matter of tapping into that and letting them know that they can do it. I'm a mother. I know how it is. I know the struggle sometimes when clients can't make an appointment, it's because, look, Tiffany, my child was sick. I had to call out. I don't have anybody, they'll tell me, that can keep my child. When my child is sick, that's me having to call out of work, they'll tell me. And I'm missing pay. Most people that come into these doors, they don't have support. We are their support for 90 days.